Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Heather Lewis, and today we are making over this 9-drawer dresser that I got from a thrift store. Now I already took off the old base and threw a new one on, but now it's time to get into this makeover. Like just about any other flip, the first thing I'm going to be doing is taking off the hardware and getting that out of the way. You'll soon see why it's so important to do this step first. The hardware had been on this piece for quite some time, so it was really loose and I only needed to use my hands to unscrew them. Otherwise, I would have used a screwdriver or a drill. But now that the hardware is off, you can see all of the dust underneath the hardware. Had you cleaned it first, all of this would have been left behind. So prepping your piece for paint is so important to achieve the best success for upholding a painted piece. Now, giving it this nice clean surface does go a long way for the paint that you'll soon be putting on top of it. I like to use Dawn dish soap because it's known to work for cleaning pieces, and I already have it in the house most of the time. I mix the soap with warm water and I use a microfiber towel to wash just about every piece that I'm doing. You'll hear me talk about Dawn dish soap a lot because that's just what I prefer to use, but there are also a lot of great TSP solutions out there if you're looking for something a little bit stronger to clean your pieces with. You just kind of have to try it out and feel it out for what you like to use and what you don't like to use. But if you do use Dawn dish soap, make sure that you are going back with just regular warm water and rinsing off all of the soap. Once your piece is completely dry, you can go ahead and sand your piece. I am using 120 grit because I am just scuff sanding. There's no huge dents or scratches that I need to sand through and get rid of. So I am using 120. If you are doing a scuff sand, I would say 120 is the lowest you should be going. Otherwise, move up towards, 200, 220, and so on and so forth. I just only have 120 as my highest grit on hand, so I'm using that. The purpose of scuff sanding is to roughen up the surface just enough so that it's ready for either your primer or your paint, and it really does help everything adhere to the piece a lot better. Just to show any of you beginners here, this left side has not been scuff sanded yet and the right side has. You can definitely see that the right side is a little more roughened up and it's looking a lot worse, and that's actually what you want. Once everything is scuff sanded, wipe it down and it'll look more like this and you're ready to go. Now usually I don't show you guys the hardware I'm using until the very end, but I decided to show it to you now because typically I fill in the hardware holes at this point when I'm switching the hardware, but this piece of hardware will actually cover the existing holes, and I like the idea of the customer having an option since the new holes would be covered up from the old hardware if they chose to switch. So what I'm getting at is either way you will never see any of the holes, but they're gonna have two options still. So now that the hardware has been figured out, it is time to get these drawer fronts out and get ready to prime. You'll notice that I also taped the bottom just because I didn't want to get paint on the base. However, if I did, I could easily sand it off. So now that the drawers are out, let's get to priming. This primer right here, the Zinsser 123 primer, is the absolute best. I really do love it. I think it's super affordable and it does a great job with adhesion, which is exactly what I need on most projects. Now, however, if you do have a piece of furniture that's showing signs of bleed through, I do not recommend this primer because it will bleed right through it. Instead, I would try the Kills primer. I've used that before too, and it's a little more expensive, but definitely stops the bleed through. I'll put both primers in the description box down below, as well as any other products I've used in this video so that you guys can check it out if you're interested. You're not always going to need to prime on every project, but if you aren't sure, I would recommend doing it. There is a saying, when in doubt, prime it out. Some paints will be an all-in-one paint depending on what you're using, and in that case you wouldn't have to prime or top coat, at least for adhesion. If you have bleed through, I'd probably go ahead with the Kills primer, but it really just depends on what products you're using. And just make sure that when you are priming everything. This includes the drawer fronts as well, because you are going to be putting paint on the drawer fronts as well. Once the primer was dry, I was ready to put paint on the dresser. I got this paint at Lowe's from the discount section, so I really don't have a name for it, but it's this really pretty tan and beige color. I've used it on one other flip before and it sold really fast, so I think this color really attracts a lot of the eyes, and I think it's so pretty. I feel like I have to mention this often because I definitely have mentioned this before, but I'm gonna say it again. There's a lot of debate on whether furniture refinishers should be using this type of paint on their furniture flips or not. And in my opinion, if you're taking the right steps to thoroughly prep your piece for this type of paint and making sure that you are sealing the piece and protecting it after the paint has been put on, then there really is no reason not to use it. I am all for supporting the small businesses and their paints as well. I think their paints are amazing, and just about every brand I have used is doing a great job with their products. However, I got this gallon of paint from Lowe's for only $9 at the discount section, and you literally cannot beat that. And because my sole purpose of furniture flipping is to turn it around and make a profit, that is the smartest idea for me to do. Here and there, of course, I will use the small business paints because I love to try them out and I love to support them, and I have many YouTube videos showing off some of these companies as well, actually. Which actually I have a video coming out in the next few videos where I'm going to be trying a new to me brand, so watch out for that if you're interested in testing out new brands with me, because it really is fun and I do always love their products. And if you like this furniture flipping content and you like the free tips that I give you, please make sure to click the like button and subscribe down below, because it really does help small channels like mine grow, and I can't thank you guys enough for your continued support. This dresser required 2 coats to reach full coverage, and once it was dry, I was able to top coat with polyurethane. Now, don't kill me, but I didn't end up recording it when I went to prop everything up, so unfortunately I can't show you guys that part, but I did go a little more in depth on top coating in my last video. So I will prop it up here if you guys want to go ahead and check it out. Otherwise, I think it's time we get into the final reveal.
Try to